Welcome to Uncook Podcast. Today is the 10th of April, and yesterday, that was Sunday, the 9th of April, it was Easter. So, happy belated Easter. Unfortunately, in Japan, we don't really celebrate Easter, but that was my day off, and I went to a temple called Kokawa Temple. That's in Wakayama. And that's in Kinokawa City in Wakayama. And it was my first time of visiting there, and it was quite nice. I really liked it. And I could post some pictures on the Instagram account, the podcast account. So if you like, feel free to have a look at Uncook Podcast on Instagram. You can enjoy looking at the nice pictures that I took in Kokawa Temple. And someday you could visit here, and possibly I could guide you around Wakayama. Anyway, so today I'm going to talk about an idiom, think better of. And the meaning of think better of is to decide not to do something after thinking further about it. To decide not to do something after thinking further about it. If you can't remember the phrase think better of, then you can just remember reconsider, because reconsider is the synonym of think better of. And in Japanese, that's something 何かを考え直してやめる. That's the meaning of think better of in Japanese. And here are three example sentences using think better of. The first one is, she'll think better of you if you say you're sorry. She'll think better of you if you say you're sorry. And that means in Japanese, 謝れば彼女は君のことを見直すよ. The second sentence using think better of is, she considered emigrating to Australia but thought better of it. She considered emigrating to Australia but thought better of it. And that means,彼女はオーストラリアへ移住しようかと思ったが考え直してやめた. The third sentence that's related to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So that's the first book of Harry Potter. And I have decided reading that book again, and that's my possibly third attempt of reading the book. And it's quite challenging, but it's fun because I know the story already. And every time I read that book, I discover some interesting idioms and words and how they describe things in English. And this idiom, think better of, that's what I've found from that book. And here is the example sentence. It's actually sentences. Mr. Dursley stopped dead. Fear flooded him. He looked back at the whispers as if he wanted to say something to them, but thought better of it. I repeat, Mr. Dursley stopped dead. Fear flooded him. He looked back at the whispers as if he wanted to say something to them, but thought better of it. I guess those who have read the book of Harry Potter, maybe you can guess which part of the book it is. That's actually before the main story begins. So it's like the main character at that point is Mr. Dursley. So he's he's feeling uncomfortable of some weird people celebrating something, and then somehow he feels that it's something bad, something negative for his family, and that's actually true. Yeah, so yeah, it's a fun story. If you have never heard of the book, I'm sure at least you watched the story of Harry Potter. If you have watched, then it's next time it's reading, so you can challenge reading Harry Potter book. It's fun. And every time I read books, English books, I feel that the best way of learning English, when you are at a good point of English ability, then reading is the best, because watching movies is good, but you tend to focus more of the visual stuff rather than what they're talking about. And also, especially if it's action movies, then they don't really talk about things much. They rather concentrate of shooting or killing something and that kind of stuff. So I think reading is the best way of improving your reading skills, and it could actually connect to your speaking skills as well, and also listening. So actually it's really good. I strongly recommend you to read English books if you are struggled with improving your English level. Okay, let's try. Okay, so it was today's topic was think better of, and the synonym of this is reconsider, and it means to decide not to do something after thinking further about it. Do you have any example sentences using think better of? In my case, I don't really have anything related to think better of. Well, maybe, I don't really have anything special. I could possibly say, like, easy example is like, I wanted to go somewhere. For example, I wanted to go to Osaka on Sunday, but it's the weekend, and I expect that there are many people in Osaka, so I thought better of it. Means I decided not to do it. Okay, so if you have any questions, and if you have any example sentences related or using think better of, feel free to contact me on Instagram or on my Gmail address, as I'm saying. As usual, that's uncookpodcast@gmail.com. Okay, thank you for listening, and see you soon. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to Uncooked Podcast. If you have any comments, don't hesitate to leave a message. Your comments will make the podcast better.